Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this, this isn't really a tutorial. What this is I just want to say right at the end of the course here a few things about kind of more things that you might want to learn, and just a few more things just to finish off the course really. So congratulations on finishing the course, and I want to really thank you very much for subscribing to my course. You can find more free tutorials at caveofprogramming.com. That's all one word. And there are also going to be some more tutorials from me on Udemy, and you'll be able to find details at www.caveofprogramming.com, and the next one's going to be on Android programming. Now, if you've worked through the whole series of tutorials on web programming, then you might be wondering kind of what you should do next, what you should learn next, if you want to really know web programming inside out. And there are basically two groups of technologies with web programming. There are basically client technologies and server technologies, and the stuff we've been looking at here is like JSP, servlets, and JSTL, and of course JDBC. These are server-side technologies. Now, as far as client stuff goes, if you want to create your own websites from scratch and you don't want to work with a web designer, let's say, or if you want to go in kind of a more rounded kind of design direction, then the stuff that you probably want to increase your knowledge of is going to be stuff like HTML, hypertext markup language, and CSS. So HTML creates the structure of your web page basically, and CSS styles it, cascading style sheets, that stands for, and allows you to put all kinds of colors and things into it. And you may want to look at JavaScript as well. JavaScript enables you to do lots of things in your browser without having to do a post or a get request all the way back to the server. So like if you've got a shopping cart, for example, you could add things to the cart without the web page actually having to refresh itself or actually having to contact the internet. It would just do something using JavaScript, for example, and it's good for validating forms and stuff like that as well. So I think those are the main client technologies. You could look at stuff like Flash and Java applets as well, although applets aren't used so much, and Flash seems to be gradually on its way out, so I'm not sure what to say about that. HTML5 is a big growth area too, which is kind of replacing these technologies, it seems. Now, on the server side, we've come across SQL, and if you want to work as a web programmer, or you already are doing, and you want to complete your knowledge, then you probably want a good knowledge of SQL and at least one database like MySQL or even Oracle, for example. And I think that's the only really other server technology we've used in this series of tutorials, as far as I can think. You might want to learn stuff about like the Apache HTTP server, which is a very widely used server for serving up web content, and you probably will want to learn a framework, because we've worked here without using any kind of framework, and lots of websites are created that way, and you don't need a framework. But a lot of people like a framework that helps them organize their code. And earlier on in the series of tutorials, before we started using JSTL, I created an example controller servlet with a lot of exception handling in it that was really a mess. And one of the kind of benefits of a framework is that it helps you really keep that kind of mess under control, and enforces some kind of model view architecture structure or something like that. And now the two big frameworks, because there's quite a few of them, but I think the two major ones now are, above all, Spring, which seems to be very fashionable, and lots of people are interested in the Spring framework right now. And there's also Struts, which is, let's put a note here, frameworks. And Struts has been around a long time, and it kind of got revamped at one point, and now it's pretty popular. But probably if you're going to choose one, I'd say at the moment choose Spring. And of course you can always improve your Java knowledge, stuff like multi-threading, which you can find a free course on multi-threading on caveofprogramming.com. Skills like this are always useful. And there's also stuff like EJBs, but those seem to be pretty much out of fashion these days. And I hear from some of my colleagues that they're busy migrating EJBs, Enterprise Java Beans, to stuff like Spring, so maybe give that one a miss. Okay, so I think that's everything. That finishes this tutorial series. You can find all the source code attached here as well as a zip file. And if you have anything that you'd like me to cover in this series that I haven't covered, I can't make any promises, but certainly leave a question or send me an email, john@caveofprogramming.com, and I'll think about making more tutorials for this series. And if you want to work as a web programmer and you're not at the moment, I'd highly recommend www.jobserve.com, which, whether you're working in the States or in Europe, this is a really good place to look for jobs. And it's worth really becoming strongly acquainted with this and scanning the new jobs every day. And if you haven't worked as a programmer before and you want to, then it's worth looking for kind of entry-level positions in there that don't require much experience, or even stuff that's not directly programming but includes an element of programming. And even if you're getting on a bit like I am at 38, then I would think you could still get into the software development market, because this is just this insatiable demand for software developers, it seems, these days. Okay, so that's it from me, and congratulations again, and best of luck, and please keep checking for new courses from me. And until next time, happy coding.